So while you're focusing to this bell sound mentally, relax your body, relax your mind, relax your breathing with your thoughts. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, in this meditation session, we practice two meditation techniques. One is tranquility meditation, another one vipassana meditation. So this tranquility meditation and vipassana meditation, the both we have to develop at the same time. So tranquility meditation means you develop, you cultivate your mind to be very clear. So it is kind of like purifying your mind. So once the mind purified, once the mind become clear, so you're able to recognize things very clearly without disturb. So another way, tranquility meditation leads you to have an undisturbed mind. So tranquility meditation does only that. It's just bring the clarity. It make your mind clear. And once the mind become clear, you feel more comfortable, relaxed. And with that comfort and relaxed mind, you can deeply observe how things come to be as they are. So that is vipassana meditation. It is another way it called analytical meditation. And another way it called panya bhavana. Why it called panya bhavana? Because it developed the wisdom and it's sharpening the wisdom. So tranquility meditation we call chitta bhavana. It more settle down, it more follow the mental phenomena or the mental object. So as a benefit of tranquility meditation, you can get out of the 5 hindrance. Kama chanda, vyapada, tina midda, uddhacha kukkucha, vichikicha. So the kama chanda means the self-centered desire to find the satisfaction with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, looking for eye object, ear object, nose object, tongue object, mind object, and the body object. So it more develop emotions. Emotions means energy in motion. So the energy means that, what is the energy here? The energy means whatever your past experience, bring the currents to activate your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, nature. So once that nature activate, it is start to become kind of like a magnet. So now still you are in the past, your past experience, another way which we call habits. So related to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the habitual patterns or the past experience. Another way, mental formations or the phenomena or the sanskara, or develop a current to create the same kind of blueprint, or it's kind of like making a photocopy, or it's kind of like a creating or reproducing the same feeling. That is the very nature of the emotion. Emotion, what is the responsibility for the emotions? Reproducing. So that is what emotions does. So whatever you like to see, then I go with that. And then, so it become kind of like a current. So that desire itself take us forward. So with your ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, all these six senses, looking for perception, always keep running, keep running, keep running. This is the very nature of the Kama Chanda. So when you practice the tranquility meditation, it allows your mind to settle down without running here and there looking for this phenomena or the formations or the any kind of the perception. That it another way it called that you come to have a one pointness mind. So that is very necessary. Even forget about attaining to enlightenment or kind of like seeing high experience, just in day-to-day life. To have a peaceful mind, calm mind, it is good for you to learn just to settle down yourself a little bit. So as a result, the very first result you gain out of your tranquility meditation, this, calming down the mind. And the vyapada, once the mind get out of the desire or the becoming nature or reproductive nature, what happening? There is no resistance. There is nothing go against or nothing come against. So that is the second benefit that you gain. So the third one, Kama Chanda Vyapada Tina Midda, the heaviness, tightness, toughness, this aggressive nature. So you slowly get out of it. And even physically, that when you physically say relax, so like you feel so comfortable or light. So physically, sometimes we try to achieve to this in a different way. So as example, that's why people so addicted to roller coaster, bungee jump. Why? Because that this extreme level of sports or some kind of drugs. Why? Because this physical nature, this heaviness, tightness, toughness, it allows you to release even for a moment. That's why people like to do it again and again and again and again. But it is just a physical experience. But when it comes to tranquility meditation at this third level, when you really get out of this hindrance, you completely become purified from the desire, becoming nature, reproductive nature, and the anger or the resistance. So that will help you to have the deeper comfort. Your body, your mind become so comfortable each other. And uddacha kukkucha, this means restlessness. So the restlessness within our own life, our own mind always jump past and future. That's what you experience every day. Mostly that is what we call thinking. So that itself make us unbalanced. All the fear, unsatisfaction, the comparison, and also assumption, this everything come out of what? This everything come out of when the mind jump to past and the future. So the restlessness is mostly, so whatever you have done in the past or or whatever going to happen in the future, so the deeply, with this all the mental formation start to vomit. So that is very disturbed to our mind. So when you practice tranquility meditation, you slowly get out of it. Uddacha kukkucha and the vichikicha. Vichikicha is the doubt. So the doubt here, the regarding your own life or your own past and the future, or that this meditation practice you do, and regarding the teachings about the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha, or whatever the path you walk, you become very clear. Why? Because now you know, you see how this work. It's become more that the clear to you with your self experience. So it not going to any more kind of like a teaching or the dogma or kind of like a preaching. No, it is kind of like a self experience. So once you get out of this 5 hindrance, Kamachanda, Vyapada, Tinamidda, Uddacha Kukkucha, Vichikicha. Then what happened when one by one releasing, your mind start to develop dhyana, or another way it called jhana, and another way it called high mental powers, or another way it called absorptions. So there are 4 kind of absorption: first, second, third, and fourth. So when you achieve to one by one, what is happening? In the first absorption, you get out of the kama chanda. So sensual pleasure or the desire or becoming or the reproductive nature with all your 6 senses. Remember, it is just not reproductive nature. It doesn't mean you just that try to make a baby. No, all our life, 24/7, that every day you, through your entire body, you reproducting yourself. Look very carefully, you will see it. With each and every action. That's how this go. It's a huge current. To tap into that, recognizing that, you have to have very sharp, clear mind. That is what does through this meditation. It is just not sitting and becoming completely shut down or neutral or numb. No, it's deeply you're going to tap into this huge current that you carry. And once you get out of the first hindrance, then you achieve to kind of like the first absorption, and the mind become more relaxed, calm, comfortable. And the second one, the resistance or the anger or the go against nature, then the second absorption. And the third absorption, fourth absorption. Once the fourth absorption achieve to that, so that is the highest that you can go through tranquility meditation, and we call jhana. So once you go into that level, and mostly you can maintain there, and you may be not going to depend on from the material, this rough, heavy physical life. because this physical body is so heavy. You to maintain this body, it's a, if you look very carefully, it is a kind of like a war, and feeding to this body, maintaining this body, and take caring this body, how much energy you put. But when it comes to absorptions, you start to get out of that slowly, and you start to experience something else. And so you can go in a different direction through absorption, and even many eons you can live in any many kind of existence. But our purpose is we get out of the five hindrance, and we completely make our mind clear. With that clear mind, rather than going towards absorption or high mental powers, we slowly develop mind to getting to vipassana level. So in that vipassana level, there are four foundations. So now your mind so clear, no any desire, no any kind of becoming nature in you, and no any resistance, no any laziness, tiredness, no any self-centered ideas related to you, and no any kind of doubts. So the mind completely 100% become crystal clear. Once the mind become very clear, what is happening there, you able to see all the forms, the whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, very clearly you're going to recognize. You don't need words for that, because the experience become your recognition. Remember that. There is no thoughts in between your experience. When something appear to your eye, that appearance itself become your wisdom. That is the tranquility meditation and the wisdom connect. When something as a form, sound form appear to your ear, that appearance become your understanding. So then with the understanding and the appearance of the form, there is no gap. So that itself become your understanding. That is where you become thoughtless. With the nose, so whatever the aroma, so as example, this is aroma, so this is far away, it is not touch my nose, so I don't know anything about this. So then what happening, little by little, little by little, little by little, come closer to my nose, and it touch the nose. So once it touch the nose, so this is the form, and the five aggregates form feeling. So that this is the form, so it is still far away from my body, and I don't know about this, it is not belong to my world. So once it come and touch my nose, that touching bring the feeling. That feeling arise with the kind of recognition. That the feeling arise with the recognition, because that feeling, this itself bring the consciousness activate. So in between these two, there is no thought come to middle and think, what is this? So this happen only in the tranquility state of the mind. So otherwise what is happening? You watching TV. Now you somewhere, or maybe you talking with somebody. Now then what happened? This smell come, and then touch the nose. So it keep like a 2 minute, 3 minute, and maybe just imagine this is something burning smell, and it come to you. So it is burning somewhere, and you just watching TV, and suddenly this become strong. This aroma, the nose form becomes stronger, stronger, stronger. It start to disturb to your eye consciousness. Then right away you go to this, and then you what is that no smell? Then you start to think, what is that smell? And maybe you don't recognize it. Maybe something burned somewhere. It take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or then you cannot recognize, I cannot understand what is that. Then you may say, there's some smell, come, look, and then you go back to watch the TV. So this keep happening. But when it come to tranquility mind, tranquility state, this is what happening. So maybe you watching TV and you know watching TV, when the smell come and touch your nose, without any further delay, right away, it has power to recognize what this smell. That is the beauty of the tranquility mind. So then we imagine with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, if you can experience anything just by appearance of the perception, just by contact of the perception without thinking, how powerful your mind, how light your mind. Because we don't think that sometimes to think we waste a lot of energy. To remind, we think a lot of we use a lot of energy. You save that old energy. So then your mind becomes so activated. So then with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you become very clear. And you become very clear and you become very comfortable with the experience. But when our mind is not calm, clear, sometimes it is a pleasant experience, but still deeper we can be tired. Maybe it undisturbed, it may be unhappy experience, but that also can be tired. But the beauty of the tranquility state, it doesn't matter pleasant or unpleasant experience. You don't get mental tiredness. You just experience it. That is where you develop, that's why it's called undisturbed mind. And once you have that, that is not enough. Just a basic level. That is the start point of the Vipassana. So once you have that clarity, clear mind, what you should do? Rather, because you can just be with that, but still that your existence going to be. So then using that clarity, whatever the experience come to, your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So the very first experience appear as a feeling. So then observe it and recognize what is this? What happening to that feeling? That is the important thing. What happening to that feeling? And then what will say? You will see that feelings change. And observe how it changed. Who is doing it? It's nobody doing it. It happened itself. If you deeply observe, you recognize according to necessary conditions, it change. So, and then observe deeply. And out of that feeling, now you recognize the feeling change, and out of that feeling, whatever the, the, the experience that you get, and as a satisfaction, that also going to change. And then that the experience of this change, why it happening? Because there is no selflessness. So then within that what you experience and the experiencer or the subject and the object, both moment by change. So today I want to go a little bit deeper. So this is the process from tranquility to Vipassana. So when it comes to Vipassana, we observe impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So it's like when you play card, that you open your card pack like this, and then you see each and everything. But when it comes to, just imagine, when it comes to card pack, that everything in that packet, so that all the card should be there. If one card is missing, it's not going to be complete. But when you play it, you just open it and you go by different names on the cards. But that everything bound to one concept, the same like. So Vipassana means, okay, catch this very carefully. Observing impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness mean, listen this very carefully. So it is not something that you can separately see impermanent from unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. So this is what deeply when you observe, you have to recognize. When something change, so in that change, because of that change, in that change, you see unsatisfactory nature. In that change, you see unsatisfactory nature. In that change, you see selflessness. So the change is the very first level of the help that you can get, or the ladder, you can hold it and climb it to deeper. So that's why, because it's related to feeling. So the feelings is the important part. Why? Because that is where the very first thing that we can get. And before we go into to unsatisfactory nature, or find out the satisfaction or the selflessness, the feeling is the very surface level we can catch. So that's why we always go with the feeling in the first level. So whatever you feel, sensation or anything anywhere in your body, whatever you feel, observe. Then you see the sensation. As example, rubbing my hand. Now I feel the sensation. And you observe in front of your nose and upper lip area, the air moving, you see the sensation. So impermanent is that the unsatisfactory nature, not something separate from that change. It become unsatisfactory nature because of this change. That is what you have to catch. It become unsatisfactory nature because of the change. And it becomes selfless. Why we call the feeling selfless? It becomes selfless because of the change. So then you have to play the role once. So because it take kind of like, you have to be slow, and you have to develop very slow and clear mind to play this role and combine three things each other, because normally we observe separately. Now you try to combine these three. So how you do this? It's kind of like playing a game. So you have to be so careful. So now you see the change. You very easily you can get it. And now you recognize unsatisfactory nature because it changed. So whatever the feeling. And then it becomes selfless because of the change. And then you play the role. And unsatisfactory nature has playing a role. It like, so keep it that, it like this. When it comes to electron, any atom, there are three things: electron, neutron, proton. So, and these three things come that the moving each other always and helping each other, the same mechanism with the unsatisfactory nature. And there is the change, and in that change, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. Why it become change? Because selfless and unsatisfactory nature. And why it become unsatisfactory nature? Because change and selfless. So if there is a self, this is not going to experience. So that is the deepest, the bottom of the vipassana that you can experience. If you can catch it, maybe not today, but just hearing is enough for today, maybe. In the future, whenever you have time, maybe you will experience it. Just remember that. As a basic level, you can experience impermanent, unsatisfactory nature, selflessness separately. But the bottom line is, the depth is why, because why it become unsatisfactory nature, why it carry the unsatisfactory nature, why something becomes selfless, why we say this everything selfless, because it has nature bound to change. Why it bound to change? Because it has a relationship the to selflessness. Why it become unsatisfactory nature? Because it bound to change and selflessness. So like that, these three things work each other, and that is why that we say this everything selfless. Why? Because it bound to change. If something is unchangeable, then what will happen? It will bound to self, and it will bound to satisfaction. But in this universe, there is nothing like that. There's nothing. So that's why that we say this everything impermanent. So observing yourself and recognizing it yourself is completely different kind of science. So that science called vipassana. So let's practice a little bit, and your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes 3 times and say Supateva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation. So bring your attention to in front of your nose and your upper lip area, and deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please, and observe the sensation. So allow your inhalation, exhalation happen naturally itself. And follow the sensation and recognize. This is inhalation, this is exhalation. Just get a mental note. And follow the entire continuation of the inhalation, exhalation. Knowingly, this is the beginning, this is the middle, and this is the end. Also, you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, like that. Just recognize it. Keep your attention to the feelings and then observe the impermanent in that impermanent unsatisfactory nature, in that impermanent selflessness. Bring your attention to your body and observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as we can, through galaxies, other planets, stars, reminding yourself like this with clear intention. Mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one, out of anger or ill will, wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light to your backside, to your left side, and to your right side, downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, and sometimes you may heard the Buddha nature or Buddha mind. So one that's mean mostly that once you attain to enlightenment, so we call the Buddha nature. So how you can develop this nature in your mind? What is this Buddha nature? From where it's come? So the very first thing when it come to the Buddha's teaching, it deeply develop with the concept of the emptiness or the no mind. And so whatever we hold it to this world through our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind. So the deeper, finally we come to concept of the ideas. So the ideas related to the mind. The mind depend on ideas. So the Buddha nature means you come to a moment to experience without ideas or the thoughts. And that emptiness in the very first level that you have to develop in your mind. It's nothing to do about empty your house, empty your pocket, empty your car, empty your bag. It's nothing to do. This keep that everything. Don't disturb to that. Don't touch that anything. Just empty your mind. Even for a moment. Empty everything. Get out of all the thoughts. Because sometimes it is kind of like a very radical decision within your inner self. Just try to experience even for a moment, just 1 second. You no need to afraid for anything. And if you want to make sure, lock the door and lock your room, and and keep that everything, and just keep that everything around you, and then everything safe, nothing going to lose, because we have the fear of lose. That's why mostly we hold it. Nothing going to lose. Maybe you gain more if you practice this. Look at the Buddha. Who's the most wealthiest man in the world? The Buddha. People giving, the most beautiful things, the most expensive things. Who receive? Buddha, not us. Even, people bring the food for us. People facilitate this everything. People give the donation, not personally for us. This all go to Buddha's account. So in case from tomorrow, as example, if I tell, okay, I'm not going to follow the Buddha, or not the Buddha, I'm not going to go with the Buddha's teaching, you know what will happen? Nobody going to listen, nobody going to, and give this anything. So that doesn't mean we clinging to Buddha. It's nothing to do with that. But we trying to follow the path. But so when you become empty and you belong to everything, when you belong to something and you lose a lot of things, you lose a lot of things, you miss a lot of things in your life. So then when it comes to the Buddha, the very first thing, they develop the no mind, empty mind. So that is the Buddha's mind, mean empty mind. So to get into that, so that is the highest. To get into that, what is the barrier? Your mind is the barrier. Remember that. Your mind is the barrier. And how this barrier arise? Because of the related to the past and the future. So once the mind bound to past and the future itself, these ideas become a barrier to ourselves. So, and then to get out of that barrier, so what you have to do? You have to develop the compassion. So when you develop the compassion, what will happen? The little by little, all the tangles that we have inside us start to release. All the connection that we develop with the self-centered start to release. Try, you will see. When you get into self-centered mind, the very first thing that you lose the compassion. But when you have the compassion, the very important thing, you get out of the self-centered mind. So, because the compassion and the self-centered mind, the both cannot stay in one place. So then if you want to experience the empty mind, then remember to develop the compassion. So when it comes to the wisdom and compassion, so the Buddha mind is the wisdom, and to get into that path is the compassion. And when this both, there are two ways, inactive and active. So inactive compassion, active compassion, inactive wisdom, active wisdom. So there are kind of like this way. And when it comes to wisdom, there are some monks, they don't go anywhere. And when you reach to that monk, maybe he living in somewhere, so once somehow you find, and once you reach to that monk, and that monk, so according to that moment or the necessary situations, and giving the wisdom. And there are some monks, and they look for opportunities, and they look for go somewhere and go to somebody, and then they try to give the teachings. So there are two ways. So the Buddha has this both ways. So in ordinary life, sometimes we even when it comes to generosity, also same, giving. So as example, we experience as monks, sometimes when the ceremonies come, we have to make calls and tell, we have ceremony, can you donate something? So, and sometimes when the situations come, we call people and say, hey, can you donate? So there are some people, when we send the emails or when we send the news, there are some people, oh, this monk called me, and oh, the monk told us, and they donate And sometimes when we miss somebody, even they heard that there is a ceremony going to, they don't donate anything. If later, if somebody asks, why you don't, you know, donate something to the temple? No, because the monk didn't call me. But you knew, yeah, I knew, but monk didn't call me. See, it is an inactive generosity because he need a kind of like a activation to do it. But there are some people without asking, without telling anything, they just give. When they heard, when they know they should give, they give. It is active generosity. So the wisdom the same in day-to-day life. Conventionally, your life also have this both nature. And sometimes you people as in day-to-day life, you know you have to give, but without asking, you don't give. So that's mean you have the compassion, you have the wisdom to give, but you don't do it. So it is inactive. There's nothing wrong with that. Is a kind of nature. And then you know the situation, and you know you have to give, and then you give just by thinking yourself knowingly. That is active wisdom and active generosity. So to achieve to Buddha's mind, you have to develop this both and mix it as one. In another way, this is kind of like a feminine and masculine nature. So the feminine nature is, it's always wait and to proposal. So masculine nature is, it always activate the whatever the situation. So that's why even so like for wedding, you know, even you know two uh, loved ones, when they're going to get married, so the masculine, the man should propose the marriage. And you see the videos, you know, they go with the ring and then maybe knee down and worship and you know and do everything and tell you know, do you marry me, will you marry me? So like that you have to propose. So the girl, no, they don't do it. You know, the girls don't go behind the man and you know and knee down or jump into the shoulders and telling, will you marry me? No, they don't do it. So this come from the spiritual base. That's the, because that is the inner nature. It is not a just conventional physical active that action. So the Buddha developed this masculine, feminine, both nature and mix it as one. So that is the when you have the Buddha's nature, that is the quality that you have to develop. So when it mix it to one, masculine, feminine, it becomes something. As example, the statue, how that Buddha statue became so powerful, because in the beginning of in India, that you see it more kind of like a feminine. Before the great Alexander go to Indian side, the statues you see like Burmese statues, and the and then that other the the statues mostly, that it doesn't have any kind of like the strong attractive quality. It's so rough level of just the form of a statue. And in the Greek statues, and they have the more masculine kind of the level of the statues. So somehow what happened when they develop the Buddha statue, why it doesn't create any kind of emotions? Because when you see the Buddha statue, it neutralizes your all emotions. It doesn't matter you are feminine or masculine. But there are some statues, when you see, if you are masculine, if you, it create kind of like emotions, and if you are a feminine, it create kind of emotions when you see this statue. But when you see the Buddha statue, it neutralize all the emotions. What is the science? Because the Buddha statue created with the masculine and feminine, the both pictures they put together. It did by the Greek art and the Indian artist. It was a kind of like a huge experiment to get this all the qualities to this Buddha's statue. That mentality, the Buddha's mind, how they bring it to a kind of like a statue, material level. So that's why when you see the Buddha statue, anybody, it doesn't matter whoever, you feel more relaxed, calm. It doesn't bring any emotions. So the same thing with the mind you have to develop. So the compassion and the wisdom, this both, to make it, you have to make it, you have to develop it to active compassion. So what is the active compassion mean? Look, now we sitting every day here and say, may all living beings be well and happy. Yeah, it's inactive compassion. It's a compassion, but it is inactive. So what should be the active compassion? So you go somewhere, a stranger come and blame to you, and can you have the mind, may all living beings be well and happy, that mindset in any situation, in day-to-day life, with your husband, wife, your children, your loved ones, your parents, without getting mad? Can you handle that situation? That is active compassion. So the wisdom also same. And now we say, oh, impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness. We observe that, And how about if something, broken or something disappear? And if you get mad, what is the wisdom that you carry in your life? Maybe you can tell to somebody, oh, this is impermanent, or like that, you can give a talk like this. But how about when something really in your personal life, if something really hit you hard to your the bottom of your heart, and how something very painful, tired, so can you handle that, knowingly this everything impermanent and selfless like that way? That is active wisdom. So then you have to develop that. So this is what the vipassana does. It make it active, because we all have this Buddha's nature in our mind. Everybody, all living beings have this, but it is a very sleeping mode. It's like in the yoga shastra, it called kundalini yoga. The kundalini power, what it called is like a snake, sleeping snake, on the bottom of your spine. And when you do these things, what happens, the energy start to, so it is inactive, but it is there. So when it comes to the meditation, vipassana, this is the same, compassion and the wisdom. So this, it is in active mode. So then what you have to do? You have to make it activate. Activate through bodily, verbally, and mentally action. And when it comes to that activation, that's something that you have to remember. So what is that? That everything what we experience is kind of like a dream. Once you know that, you will able to handle that this loving kindness and compassion and wisdom and maintain it without losing anything. So when it comes to phenomena, so with this everything, physical phenomena, psychological phenomena, material phenomena, so whatever we experience, this everything is a kind of like a dream. But we take this as real. We know this is dream, but we take it as real. That is where the ego settled down. So if this is a dream, how that out of that dream, how the experiencer can be truthful? If you experience something changeable, how if the object everything change in the material level, very simply we know that there you don't need any big science to to understand it anymore. Even 24/7, just you know yourself that how this everything change, even your body, you know, from morning to night, just you know how this entire body change. You don't need Albert Einstein to come and, knock your head and tell, even that your face, your hair, you make your hair even for 10-20 minutes, and after that, it go away. you know Even you make a, put a garment, and within few hours it become completely different. You don't need any big science to understand this. So if the all object change, how the subject going to be unchanged? Question yourself. If all the object, physical object, mental object change, how the subject going to be permanent? That is what empty mind, emptiness. So one time Buddha mentioned, in a discussion with the monks, asked Buddha, asked, there is a huge tree. If the roots are impermanent, the trunk impermanent, all the branches impermanent, the tree leaves impermanent, flowers impermanent, fruits impermanent. Monks, if somebody come and tells, oh, this shadow of this tree is permanent, do you believe? The monks told, no, Bhante, it cannot happen. The same thing with the self. And then the Buddha asks, there is someone come, and there is the lamp made by clay. So if somebody come and tells this clay impermanent, oil impermanent, thread impermanent, but still I believe this light is permanent. So the Buddhas, monks, if the person tell like that, do you think it is right? The monks told, no, Bhante, it is wrong. So dear Dhamma friends, the same thing with us. Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, object. Around us, everything change. Even this eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, the physical object, that also every day change. So then, when it come to this eye, from that eye object, so whatever the eye consciousness arise, that eye consciousness also change. And then out of that consciousness, the feelings arise. That feelings change. And out of that feeling, sensation arise. That sensation change. Not only one, all 6 sensations change. And out of that 6 sensations, the formations arise. That everything change. Out of that formations, the recognitions or the consciousness arise. That also change. Then who is going to be there? That is what called no mind. So try to digest it yourself. So with that, I bless upon everyone with this good practice. May all of you be well, happy, and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavatacha mehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe devanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.